words in your mouth, but to kind of change your lens and your focus from nurse to experiencing it as a minister during CPE.
Okay. It was a mess. I'm telling you, it was a mess because I entered it thinking I knew everything. Because I'm a nurse, 38 years. What y'all gonna teach me in the hospital? I don't want to be in the hospital. Why do I have to have CPE? Can't I just go over CPE? But no, you couldn't go over CPE. I thought, all right. So I did. I was blessed by Sandra Hutchinson told me that Montgomery Place. I thought, well, that's someplace different at least. And because first of all, I had signed up for CPE at South Suburban Hospital. I thought, let me just do it. And and then when I was working there 10 years, so I thought, oh, it's gonna be easy. So then when I got there, they canceled it that year. The man quit and he wants to revamp something, so they went ahead and let me graduate, but they held my diploma. So then I signed up for a hospice CPE. I said, oh, that's something different. But then I was supposed to start in December, and that's when I got hired at the church. So I said, oh no, I got to do the church thing for at least a year and get myself grounded first before I talk about I got to go to CPE. So then, thirdly, Sandra Hutchinson told me about Montgomery Place. You don't have to spend the night. And it was all day Monday, half a day Tuesday, and then you had to do 12 hours or something of clinical. Because what they did, they divide the people up. Montgomery Place, for those of you not familiar, it's a seniors, it's apartments, it's Alzheimer's units, a rehab. It's got all kinds of things. And what they do is they divide everybody in the building up as your parishioners. And the majority of them are rich white people or rich black people. They're rich. I mean, it costs like $7,000 a month to stay there. So the people are rich. So I entered CPE, and one of my parishioners was a doctor, white doctor. He would sit on the little bench every day, be up at 5 o'clock in the morning and sit there, wouldn't talk to nobody. So I came and sat my little black self down and told him I was his, pastor over here, but, and he just sat there and you had to pull every question on him. He wouldn't talk to me. I thought, oh, well, whatever. So then I met his daughter. She was very nice, and she told me how he lost his wife and he lost a son. So I began to bond in my spirit, just knowing that story, and it taught me that everybody has a story. And so I began to bond with him and mess with him. He still didn't talk to me. So after being there, I think I started in January. My sole supporter going through seminary, I called him every morning, going to North Park, way up north from Hazel Crest. That was my father. And on the way home, I talked to my sister, Karen. Well, don't you know, in February, God took both of them home, a week apart. I went to my daddy's house that morning in February, and he didn't answer the door, and he double locked it, and I couldn't get in. And long story short, he was dead on the floor. My sister flew in. She had been dealing with breast cancer, but she was doing fine. She was great. We talked on the phone every day. We rode bicycles. We went on 3 vacations and everything. And when she came to town to help me with my father's arrangement, I looked at her as a nurse. Oh my God, she was great. She had no brown in her skin, and her stomach was distended, so I knew something was wrong with the liver. But we didn't talk about it. We planned Daddy's stuff, and then leading up to Daddy's funeral, she vomited blood, and I was like, oh God. I said, Karen, you're going to have to go to the hospital. I'm not going to the hospital. I called her husband. She said, don't call my husband. I said, okay. I called her husband and told him that I don't think she's going to make it a week. And he said, what? So he came to town, and so sure enough, we had Daddy's funeral, and then 2 weeks to the day, Karen died. And I'm in CPE, so I was Exhibit A. And they kept telling me, you can cancel. I said, no, God knew. I mean, I really believe in God. And I said, God knew that I was going to be in CPE, and God knew Daddy was going to die, and God knew Karen was going to die. He knew this. So I'm not getting out of CPE. This is where he wants me to be. And so I was in CPE and doing verbatims, and I was carrying on like I was okay. And, did like preachers do. You tuck your pain somewhere so you can do what you have to do. And then got up one morning, came to CPE, and my doctor was not sitting on the bench. I said, where is Doctor, whatever his name was? And they said, I don't know, he ain't been here all week. I said, all week? Is he sick? They said, I don't know. I said, I'm going up to his apartment. And I went up to his apartment. I'm going to try to do this without crying, y'all. I went up to his apartment and I began to knock on the door. And I knocked, and I knocked, and I knocked. And I realized I was knocking at my daddy's door. And I hadn't cried for Daddy. And I hadn't cried for Karen. And tears came from everywhere. I mean, I had tears. It was ridiculous. And then the doctor opened the door. He said, what? But CPE taught me that you have to deal with self-care. You have to go find your pain. You have to go find where you're touched. Because not to do it means you're not human. And if you're human and your daddy died and your sister died, that's pain and it's tucked somewhere. Find it. Find your pain. So, yeah, I love CPE. CPE helped me with that.
All right. So we're taking applications at Advocate Southwest Trinity Hospital for all of y'all who need CPE.